Coming up, a multi-million-dollar Defense Force fleet upgrade taking shape. And a man gunned down outside a sporting lounge during the early morning hours. So don't you move. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, the government fulfilling its promise to equip the Royal Bahamas Defense Force with resources needed to protect our borders. So far, 7 of 9 vessels contracted to be built as part of the $230 million Sandy Bottom project have arrived. The latest 3 new vessels were commissioned on Friday afternoon. During the ceremony, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie said he is optimistic that by the end of the year, the Sandy Bottom project will be completed, and he says it's just a test of the government's commitment to invest in the nation.
The symbols of sovereignty are behind us in part, where a country spends an enormous amount of money to purchase assets.
Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie says the HMBS Lignum Vitae, HMBS Cascarilla, and HMBS Lawrence Major are well equipped to assist Defense Force officers in protecting our borders from the high level of poaching, illegal migration, human smuggling, and potential threats. Mr. Christie says it is paramount that the government provides the Defense Force with the resources needed to carry out its mandate effective and efficiently. The nation's leader saluted former commanding officer of the Maritime Division, the late Lawrence Major. One of the vessels was named in his honor, and according to the Prime Minister, the vessel will provide logistical support for maritime operations for Defense Force bases and disaster relief assistance for hurricane-stricken family islands.
Multifaceted, multifunctioning ship that will serve the interests of the citizens of this country wherever they are residing in our Commonwealth. It will be a connecting instrument to remind all Bahamians, whether in Anagua, Ragged Island, Long Island, Bimini, Grand Bahama, that this is an instrument for them to serve their interests.
Additionally, he says the Ministry of National Security is now in the process of executing some major changes that will enhance the day-to-day operations of the force.
These changes include the decentralization of the force, the augmentation and modernization of the force's fleet and bases under the Sandy Bottom project, and the accelerated rate of recruitment of personnel. I can say publicly that the government of the Bahamas has committed to seeing this change through to completion by providing the required resources and platform from which this small but effective force can execute their duties.
Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Nottage, encouraged Defense Force officers to use the new vessels wisely.
Defense Force, your role is significant in this national security landscape, and we trust that you will continue to serve to ensure that our security systems are never compromised, even in the smallest way. We will continue to make demands on you to protect our sovereign state from intruders and traffickers, and we expect that your efforts will match the challenges that we face.
Meantime, a Defense Force team is in the process of transporting the latest group of illegal migrants found in Bahamian waters. The 53 migrants are on board Defense Force vessel P-44, which was on routine patrol in the Exumas. The illegal migrants should be arriving at the Coral Harbor Defense Force base shortly. The group was discovered on board a wooden vessel which landed at Farmers Key this morning. They were arrested by Exuma police and then turned over to Defense Force officers. Police have launched an island-wide manhunt here in the capital for two persons responsible for the latest murder that occurred overnight. Reports are that shortly after midnight, a man was standing outside of a sporting lounge at Sequoia Street in Pinewood Gardens when two armed men approached. Police say the men shot the victim to the body before fleeing the scene on foot. The victim was transported to hospital where he later died. Area Member of Parliament, the Honorable Kaylis Rolls, spoke to us about the victim.
What happened last night is endemic of a wider problem. And we as Bahamians, as individuals, as people of influence, we have to commit our time to getting to these young people, reaching them and talking to them about what life is about and where they could go in life. The young man came to me 3 weeks ago and said he was looking for something to do. You know, he wasn't comfortable with the life that he was involved in, and you know, it's tragic.
Police on Grand Bahama making two significant drug discoveries and have arrested several suspects. The officers conducted a search at a bar on Friday morning where they found taped-wrapped packages of suspected cocaine hidden in the bar. The illegal drugs were seized and 3 adult males and 2 adult females, all residents of Grand Bahama, were arrested. The estimated weight of the illegal contraband is 15 pounds with a street value of $150,000. A few hours later, police along with customs officers on Grand Bahama and other law enforcement agencies conducted a search of a 20-foot container which was stored on a cargo ship moored at the Freeport Container Port. A bag that was hidden on the inside was found containing 15 tape-wrapped packages of suspected cocaine. The illegal drugs were seized. The estimated weight of the drugs in this discovery is 40 pounds with a street value of $375,000. No arrests were made in this latest discovery. In other news, police are searching for a male suspect responsible for an armed robbery at a fast food restaurant. Police say around 6 o'clock this morning, a man armed with a handgun entered a fast food restaurant on Prince Charles Drive and demanded cash. The male suspect made off with an undetermined amount of cash. Investigations are ongoing.
If you know of a crime, please call Crime Stoppers at 328-8477, toll free 242-300-8477. You can also check them out on www.crimestoppersbahamas.com. Let's stop the crime before it's your time.
Now onto the labor scene, where the Department of Labor is still trying to bring resolution to an outstanding trade dispute and assist with ongoing contract negotiations for Morton Salt employees in Inagua. Director of Labor Robert Farquharson says a company that employs approximately 145 people has said the level of demand for salt in the northern U.S. and damage to the shipping facilities at the plant have hampered its ability to transport salt on a regular basis. Farquharson says to avoid layoffs, the company may have to reduce the number of working days for employees.
Through the process, to consult properly with the union, to look at alternative ways before they reduce the work week. The intent is, however, to keep everybody employed and to not to lay any employees off. But to, instead of working maybe a 5-day work week, you may work a 4-day work week. But have persons can continue to be employed until the repairs to the shipping facilities have been completed and they could then begin the process of shipping, the product out.
There are also challenges on the labor front at the Pink Sands Resort in Harbor Island. Farquharson says the department recently sent a team to investigate ongoing disputes there, which they hope to resolve amicably. The Pink Sands employed 120 and was closed for 3 months last year for renovations that are still ongoing. Farquharson says about 60 employees were rehired.
Issues on the property, and so we would have met with that. One of the major concerns we have at the property is the manner in which those employees were re-engaged, and that unemployment agency was used to re-engage those persons. That raises a very serious concern for the Department of Labor. We are seeking advice from the Office of the Attorney General on how to proceed.
And still to come, the importance of promoting reading skills. We'll tell you what a local civic group is doing about it when the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, continues.